Have you ever wondered why some people achieve greatness while others stay stuck in the same place year after year? The truth is brutally simple. Success doesn't come to the lazy, the distracted, or the undisciplined. It comes to those who are willing to master themselves, to take control of their actions, and to do what others won't, even when no one is watching. Discipline is not punishment. It's your ticket to freedom. It's what turns ordinary dreams into extraordinary realities. Every habit you form, every small decision you make consistently, builds the life you want or keeps you trapped in mediocrity. You can have talent, intelligence, and even luck, but without discipline, they mean nothing. Think about the people you admire, the successful entrepreneurs, the elite athletes, the innovators who changed the world. Do you think they achieved it by being inconsistent? No. They built routines, they stuck to them, and they worked harder than anyone else, day in and day out. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievements. It's what pushes you out of your comfort zone, what forces you to rise early when the world sleeps, and what keeps you going when motivation fades. Motivation is fleeting, but discipline is permanent. You may feel tired, overwhelmed, or tempted to quit, but remember this: every great victory starts with a single act of self-control. Control. Every time you choose to stay focused instead of giving in to distractions, you are investing in a future version of yourself who will thank you. Success is not a secret, it's not a gift. It's earned moment by moment, choice by choice, habit by habit. If you want it bad enough, you will cultivate the discipline required to achieve it. If you don't, you will make excuses, blame circumstances, and watch life pass by. So ask yourself today, are you willing to do what it takes, even when it's hard, even when no one sees it? Because the world doesn't reward excuses, it rewards discipline, consistency, and relentless action. The simple truth is this: no discipline, no success. It's that simple. The question is, are you ready to step up and claim it? There is a truth in life that is both painfully simple and endlessly profound. No discipline, no success. It sounds almost too easy to be true, and yet it is the cornerstone of every story of achievement you've ever heard. The world wants to sell you shortcuts, quick fixes, and the illusion of effortless success. Social media feeds are full of people claiming overnight victories, instant wealth, or rapid transformations. But behind every authentic story of accomplishment, you will find one thing in common: unwavering discipline. It is invisible, it is silent, and it is often the most uncomfortable part of the journey. Discipline is not glamorous, it does not make headlines, and it rarely comes with applause. Yet, it is the engine that powers every extraordinary life. Take Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, for example. Before he became a global superstar, a wrestling champion, and one of the highest paid actors in the world, he was a struggling young man facing rejection after rejection. He didn't have the immediate fame, the big breaks, or the millions of fans cheering him on from day one. What he had was discipline. Every morning, without fail, he pushed his body through grueling workouts. Every day, he studied, trained, and prepared, even when it seemed like nobody noticed. His discipline was quiet, invisible, and unglamorous, but it was relentless. Today, when people see the results, the movie deals, the accolades, the influence, they rarely stop to consider the years of unseen consistency, the sacrifices, the early mornings, and the nights spent grinding. Discipline was the bridge between who he was and who he became. Without it, the success he enjoys today would have remained a distant dream. Discipline is often misunderstood. Many believe it is merely a rigid set of rules or a punishment we must endure. In reality, discipline is freedom. It is freedom from chaos, from procrastination, and from the randomness of life that leaves so many wandering aimlessly. When you develop discipline, you are no longer a slave to fleeting desires, to momentary comfort, or to the opinions of others. You gain control over your own life. Consider Serena Williams, one of the greatest athletes in history. Her success was not the result of natural talent alone. Talent can only take you so far. It is discipline that transforms potential into greatness. Serena's days were defined by early mornings, strict training routines, meticulous attention to diet, and an unbreakable mental focus. She endured physical pain, setbacks, and moments of doubt, yet she kept showing up, kept pushing, kept refining her craft. That level of discipline turned an ordinary human into a legend. Without it, the championships, the records, and the accolades would never have existed. Discipline doesn't just build physical or professional success, it builds character. It shapes your mind, your habits, and your identity. Every small choice you make compounds over time. Waking up early when it's tempting to sleep, resisting distractions when it's easier to scroll, completing tasks even when motivation fades, these are all acts of discipline. They may seem insignificant in isolation, but they define the trajectory of your life. Look at J.K. Rowling, who faced countless rejections before publishing Harry Potter. She had no fame, no wealth, and no guarantee of success, but she had discipline. She wrote every day, even when hope seemed distant, and her persistence turned a struggling single mother into one of the most influential writers of our time. Discipline doesn't guarantee instant results, but it guarantees progress. Every discipline choice is a vote for the person you want to become. It is easy to confuse discipline with harshness or self-denial, but in reality, it is an act of love for your future self. Each time you resist the temptation to procrastinate, each time you choose hard work over comfort, you are investing in a version of yourself that can handle more, achieve more, and live more fully. Imagine your life as a garden. Discipline is the consistent watering, the careful pruning, and the daily attention that allows your dreams to bloom. Without it, even the most fertile soil will remain barren, choked by weeds of distraction, laziness, and indecision. Consider Elon Musk, a man whose ambitions seem almost impossible. His success, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, did not come from luck or charm. It came from relentless discipline, working 8,100-hour weeks, tackling problems others avoided, and maintaining focus on his vision through years of setbacks. Discipline allowed him to take risks that others never dared, and it is what turned impossible ideas into reality. Discipline is also about embracing discomfort. Comfort is the enemy of growth. If you only take the easy path, you will never know what you are truly capable of. Every significant achievement requires enduring hardship, pushing past fear, and doing things you don't feel like doing. Thomas Edison, who invented the electric light, failed thousands of times before finding success. Did he give up? No. His discipline was evident in his relentless experimentation, his refusal to quit, and his unwavering belief that persistence would pay off. Success is not about waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect conditions. It is about showing up every day regardless of how you feel and doing what needs to be done. Even in everyday life, discipline is the differentiator between mediocrity and excellence. Imagine two students, both equally intelligent, preparing for the same exam. One is disciplined, follows a study plan, and focuses without distraction. The other relies solely on motivation, cramming sporadically, procrastinating, and giving in to distractions. When exam day arrives, the disciplined student excels, while the other struggles. Intelligence matters, talent matters, but discipline is what transforms potential into reality. It's the invisible force behind every achievement, no matter how big. Discipline is not a one-time effort. It is a habit, a rhythm, a way of life. The way you structure your days, the routines you follow, and the small choices you make repeatedly define the trajectory of your life. It is easy to underestimate the power of tiny actions, but success is rarely the result of a single heroic moment. It is the product of consistent effort compounded over time. Think about Warren Buffett, one of the richest people in the world. His wealth was not built on luck or sudden windfalls. It was the result of decades of disciplined investing, careful study, and restraint. Buffett is known for his patient, methodical approach, reading constantly, making informed decisions, and avoiding impulsive risks. His discipline in small, daily choices, what he studies, how he invests, how he saves, created monumental results. The lesson is clear. Discipline is less about dramatic action and more about repeated, focused, intentional effort. It is the quiet, persistent work behind the scenes that leads to visible success. Daily habits are where discipline manifests most tangibly. Every morning you wake up early to work on your goals. Every evening you review your progress. Every time you choose action over procrastination, you are exercising discipline. Look at Denzel Washington, a celebrated actor whose career spans decades. Washington has often spoken about his daily routines, emphasizing preparation, practice, and dedication. Even after achieving fame, he never stopped honing his craft, showing up on set ready to give his best performance every single day. Discipline is what separates the average from the exceptional. Without it, talent withers, dreams stagnate, and potential fades into regret. The small, consistent habits, showing up, practicing, learning, refining, are what ultimately distinguish those who succeed from those who merely hope. Discipline also teaches resilience. Life is unpredictable, and the path to success is littered with obstacles, failures, and unexpected challenges. Without discipline, the first setback can derail an entire journey. But with it, challenges become opportunities, failures become lessons, and persistence becomes a way of life. Consider Oprah Winfrey, a woman who grew up in poverty, faced immense personal struggles, and endured repeated professional rejections early in her career. Her success is legendary, but it did not come overnight. It came from her disciplined commitment to her vision, her refusal to let circumstances define her, and her relentless pursuit of excellence. Every time she chose to prepare, to learn, and to persevere in the face of adversity, she built momentum toward her ultimate goals. Discipline is not only about action, it is about cultivating mental toughness, the inner strength to keep going when the world tells you to stop. Even more, discipline shapes your identity. The more consistently you act with focus and intent, the more you internalize those actions into who you are. It is one thing to force yourself to act. It is another to become someone who naturally acts with discipline. Every choice, repeated daily, rewires your brain, strengthens your habits, and molds your character. Michael Jordan, often called the greatest basketball player of all time, was not just talented, he was obsessed with discipline. Stories abound of Jordan practicing for hours before and after regular team training, pushing his body to limits that most would consider impossible. His discipline became part of his identity. He didn't just practice hard, he was a relentless competitor, defined by his work ethic. And it is that identity forged through discipline that made him unstoppable. Discipline also provides clarity. When you have structure in your life, when your routines and habits are aligned with your goals, you no longer waste energy on indecision, distractions, or fleeting impulses. You act with purpose. Consider the life of Steve Jobs, whose innovations transformed the world. Jobs was known for his intense focus and ability to prioritize ruthlessly. He eliminated distractions, concentrated on a few key priorities, and devoted his energy to excellence in design and functionality. His discipline allowed him to see clearly what mattered most and to ignore everything else. Success is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters consistently, guided by discipline. As we come to the end of this journey, remember this: discipline is not a punishment, and success is not a mystery. Both are simple, yet neither is easy. The path to greatness is paved with choices, small, consistent, deliberate choices that most people are unwilling to make. You have the power to decide today who you want to be tomorrow. Every moment of hesitation, every excuse, every "I'll do it later" is a vote for mediocrity. Every act of discipline, every time you choose focus over distraction, action over comfort, is a vote for your future self, the person you will become when your dreams are no longer just ideas, but reality. Think about Abraham Lincoln, a man often remembered as one of the greatest leaders in history. Before he became president, he faced repeated failures, business failures, lost elections, personal hardships, and endless doubt from those around him. Yet, he disciplined himself, reading relentlessly, reflecting deeply, and working tirelessly to improve his mind and character. Lincoln understood that greatness was not handed to him. It had to be earned, moment by moment. His story is not extraordinary because of luck or circumstance. It is extraordinary because he refused to let setbacks define him. Discipline transforms struggle into strength, and struggle into success. And that is exactly what discipline can do for you. You might be thinking that discipline sounds rigid, harsh, or unattainable, but the truth is, discipline is freedom. It frees you from the chaos of indecision, from the anxiety of unfinished dreams, from the disappointment of wasted potential. When you embrace discipline, you gain control over your life. You no longer wait for motivation, luck, or perfect timing. You create your own momentum. Every action you take, every habit you build, every choice to persevere, compounds into results that will shock you over time. The small steps, repeated daily, add up to monumental change. Look at someone like J.K. Rowling. She was a struggling single mother, facing rejection after rejection, living in a world that often seemed stacked against her. And yet she disciplined herself to write, to create, to persist despite every obstacle. Today, her stories inspire millions, and her life is a testament to the power of consistency and focus. Imagine what you could achieve if you applied that same level of discipline to your own dreams. Your potential is limitless, but only if you are willing to earn it. Here's the truth you must carry with you: discipline is a choice, and success is the reward. You do not need permission, validation, or external approval to start. You only need the courage to show up for yourself, the willingness to act even when it's hard, and the commitment to keep going when nobody else is watching. The journey will not be easy, and there will be moments of doubt. That is normal. What is not normal is letting those moments define your future. So take a deep breath, look at your life honestly, and ask yourself, am I ready to choose discipline over comfort, action over excuses, growth over stagnation? The answer to that question will determine your destiny. Every small, deliberate choice you make from this moment forward is a step toward a life you have always imagined. Discipline is your superpower. It is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It is the reason why ordinary people achieve extraordinary things. Stand up, take control, and commit to your journey today. Make discipline your ally, not your enemy. Build the habits, embrace the challenges, and show up for yourself every single day. Because when you do, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Remember, the simple truth remains: no discipline, no success. But with discipline, everything is possible. You have the power, you have the choice. And the time to act is now.